Hey, yo!
So for everyone watching this video and probably all of Genshin right now, we have seen what 4.5 is capable of, and something about it that's really special is the upcoming Phase 2. This includes top tier characters such as Neuvillette and Kazuha, which also adds on to the weapon banner as it is going to be one of the greatest ones yet, but the main thing I want to talk about in this video is definitely both of those characters. There are lots of people waiting and trying to play these characters, which is my main purpose of this video, and basically some informative helping hand. I don't really want to talk for much, so if you guys have any questions on this video, I will try to help you guys as fast as I can, and that's the only thing I really do. So, to start off this video, I want to talk about where these characters are placed and how well they do on their stance. Kazuha himself is a very nice top tier support that pays attention to mostly crowd control, but he's also one of the best swirling characters. Obviously, Venti at the moment is the best for crowd control, but he most certainly does not buff the team like Kazuha. On the other side though, Neuvillette plays the biggest part in main DPS, which you can also say is a very nice hyper carry that varies around his damage and his teammates. Another thing that you also have to realize is that I am running Kazuha on his team because all of his teams actually include him, but I'm obviously specifying some of his best in slot teams. By the way, you do also have to realize that Furina is actually his best teammate, while Kazuha himself only varies around what his team goes. Moving forward with both of these characters, I want to talk about what they do mainly and how they actually possess their playstyle. For Neuvillette, his main priorities are his skill and burst, but the main damage dealer out of his kit is his charged attacks. He will fire a super big beam that does constant AoE hydro damage that lasts up to 3 seconds, which I do believe is insane. However, this will drain your HP down to 50%, and to just make this balanced, you will not drain HP more if half of your HP is already gone, so this will actually make you keep using it. His burst and his skill do the exact same thing, supporting him, and something that's very useful. His skill generates up to 3 source water droplets when hitting an enemy, and what that does is it actually heals Neuvillette whenever he uses his charge attack, and this also skips the cooldown for when he does it. This will only make him do it once every time he uses his skill, but that's where his burst comes in. You can see that this generates 6 of those droplets I talked about, which whenever you actually use it with his skill, it will generate up to 9 of them, and he can continuously use his charge attacks. On the other side though, Kazuha is actually much easier to understand, and he mostly varies around his skill and burst. His skill is mostly around crowd control, but it actually depends on how long you hold it for. You can see that there's 2 modes to this where you can just press or you can just hold it down. His burst is actually what makes him such a good character and a top tier support overall. This will create a swirl depending on what element is on the field, which then takes that specific element which was infused and uses it for that type of damage. The additional elemental damage that you possess can also be upgradable through his ult, which I do think is actually pretty useful. The reason why he's actually a very good support overall is this talent right here. Whenever you use his skill or his burst, creating a swirl reaction, it will take that specific element that was swirled and it will do 0.04% more elemental damage for every elemental mastery he has. Not only will it buff that specific element itself, but this will actually be granted across all party members that behold it. If you guys have made it this long to this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It does make me less lonely and also makes me more happy. I have no friends, okay? I'm all alone. Furthermore, I want to talk about what actually takes to build them and at what point they become fully usable. For Kazuha, I do use an artifact set named Viridescent Hunt, which is the earliest artifact domain in the game and also the best in slot for him. You can see from my build, it did not really take a long time to build him and So far, everything is really bad, but it still does work. His farming materials are in Inazuma mostly, but remember that Inazuma is the last location that you need for him. For Neuvillette, I do use Merichu's Hunter, which is the best in slot, but you do have to realize that Fontaine is actually across the map, and it's not so beginner friendly. You can see from my build, he's like every other main DPS out there and just takes so much time to build him overall. In addition to building him, the starting point of where he actually becomes stronger is Fontaine itself, and like I said again, is not very beginner friendly. His weapons are somewhat free to play, but I do recommend the paid options because they are just so much better in terms of damage. For Kazuha though, he has a lot of free to play options, and one that is craftable and very easy to get is Iron Sting. I currently use this at level 60, which is a pretty low level for a sword, but you do get what I mean.
I mean, not Kazuha though, look, he literally looks like he wants to kill me.
Lastly, to end off this video, I want to talk about which one you should get, and basically the main purpose of comparison. Just to put it simply out there, if you are going for Neuvillette himself, Kazuha is literally needed on every team that he supports, and Kazuha himself is in most teams out there anyways. A lot of popular teams in the game do include Kazuha for the most part, which is also really reasonable. If you have Kazuha, I do recommend going for Neuvillette because he is the best character in the game and is just pretty insane overall. Oh yeah, I forgot one more thing. I'm also going to show you guys what Kazuha can do to Neuvillette, and that does have to do with his droplets. You can see that whenever Neuvillette deploys a skill and you see them on the ground, Kazuha can immediately use a skill to put that all in one place.
Or you could just stay like this the whole game, flow.
Wow, that is beautiful. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, or maybe even comment anything on this video. If you guys need help with your account, or maybe even this video especially, I will try to help you guys as fast as I can, and that's the only thing I really do.
That really looks nice. Oh my god.
Sxyrax out. Bye-bye.